Well, we're into the actual tournament fights of Ten of Swords. And this event has gone on, it's part 16. And the goal for the first half or so of this event was to go gather the swords. And then we're kind of thrown for a loop in the last issue of Excalibur, where one of the matches certainly used swords, but then the second was a wedding match where everybody got points. So now we're into Wolverine. Wolverine's a fighter. How's that going to go? Hey everybody, this is Perch. I mean, Ten of Swords is certainly defying expectations. I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter make the comment that always drives me a little bit crazy of give people what they don't know that they need, not what they ask for. And that's always convoluted, dumb logic for me. I get defy expectations. I get that you shouldn't just do everything people ask and deliver them no surprises. But here's the key: the surprise has to be good. If the don't give people what they want. Give people what they need. Then you actually have to give them what they need. If you're giving them something that they reject and is nonsense and they don't like, then you're not doing a good job reading your audience. But regardless, let's see if Wolverine holds up a little bit better. This is issue number 7 of Wolverine. Ben Percy on writing duties here. We've got Joshua Cassera, who's no stranger to the X books. And we start right off with Magic, and she's got a tarot card that's all kind of crazy. And it looks like some kind of arm wrestling contest. So it can't possibly be that, though. So anyway, she steps in. She's walking through the Holy Republic of Fae. Why she's doing this, it's not clear. But anyway, she drops through a room and flips upside down to the floating kingdom of Roma. And then it fits up and she waves to the crowd looking more like a Greece kind of crowd this time. Not a lot of people in the crowd. Again, yeah, well, whatever. So she is going up against Pog, and they briefly draw swords, and they clash swords once, but Saturnine immediately rips the swords away and says, stay your swords. This isn't a sword contest. This is a contest of arms. So Magic, of course, frail-looking girl, warrior from Limbo. She's going against this giant, monstrous, six-armed crocodile monster thing. And they have an arm wrestling contest of which Pog annihilates her, just smashes her immediately on the count of 3 and gets a point. And that's a fight. So that's our open for this issue. And then we move over to, all right, I'll just pause here for a second and let that sink in for just a moment. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we're headed off to Blight Spoke. So my apologies. Blight Spoke is a realm of collapsed realities. So Wolverine shows up there with his sword, and he's going up against Summoner, who drags him under the ground, and they proceed to fight with swords, granted, and blood and all kinds of stuff across multiple realities and broken domains. And so as they're fighting, Saturnine points out, you're not actually fighting each other, you're fighting Blight Spoke. And how long can the two unbreakable figures survive the broken domains and the ruined wheel of Blight as Blight Spoke turns? And this is a strange alternate reality arena. We get a lot of crazy shots of people aging and skin melting off, and their pixels, their Tron characters, their cave drawings, everything else. They battle across, and then finally Wolverine pokes the sword through the eye of Summoner and kills him, and he falls down, head split, dead. And Wolverine says, I won, and Saturnine goes, psych! I said it was a fight to the death, and Summoner fought to the death. So the point goes to Arakko. And Wolverine, that really sums up kind of what all of us are thinking about this event at this point, and says, you got to be Fucking kidding me. So we move from there to a bar, and Saturnine's having a little drink. Mad Jim Jaspers is our bartender, and she says, for our next challenge, let's raise a glass instead of a sword and drink. Now, keep in mind, for those keeping track at home, we've had 2 sword fights, and this is our second non-sword fight. This is apparently a drinking contest. And Wolverine is here, and Wolverine continues to kind of sum up the event by saying, this is beyond bullshit. What are we even doing here, Storm? And then Storm says, we came up and we have to battle. So it's Storm versus Wolverine in a drinking contest. Now, how that makes sense, I don't know. But Jim Jaspers is why the same team is now fighting each other in the tournament. I mean, Storm points out that, hey, good news, we both get a point, or it's going to get a point either way. So, all right. So Wolverine says, seriously, a drinking contest, once again being the voice of the reader, and they start drinking. So they're happy, they get a point, and they drink. Storm points out this tastes like fire and nectar all at once. Wolverine points out it tastes like bullshit. And so we get a brief kind of flashback a little bit, saying, let's enjoy this moment. And, Wolverine says, I tried cheating the rules, but it didn't turn out. Besides, I can't not drink. And we get a little brief scene of it's the Crooked Market. And we see Death basically give an emerald scarab or some kind of jewel to Jim Jeffries, as they're saying, we'll have to figure out what's owed here. Krakoa gets a point. It's unclear exactly what Death is bribing Jim Jeffries for. He gives it's unclear what the story is. So, all right. At any rate, they drink down this liquor and they get kind of drunk. But maybe that's the plan or not. Not sure. Anyway, they continue to kind of flirt with each other. Storm says, watch your mouth, you dirty old flirt, or I'll tell Jean. Meanwhile, there's another fight going on, and this is another fight between the same people. So here we have Solemn and War, who have some dislike for each other, and they're arranged for a tournament. So you basically have 2 matches here that are matches against people on the same team, which makes sense. Wolverine and Storm continue to flirt and get kind of drunk, and they're maybe going to make out. Nobody's quite sure. But meanwhile, Solemn, who's fighting War, says he's got other plans, and he doesn't plan to fight, so asks Saturnine to bring Wolverine to him, just as Wolverine's about to kiss Storm. And he shows up, and we learn that the deal that Solemn and Wolverine made is that Solemn is basically Wolverine will fight in his place. So the price is this: he owes me a fight. And so that's what Wolverine's doing. So now Wolverine's going to fight War instead. So Solemn hops the dragon, basically tells War that Wolverine killed her son, and that who is Summoner. And they basically, the rules for this one are that the first to sever an appendage wins. So Wolverine notes that, he's drunk and kind of hungover, and that means his healing factor has shit the bed. I'm not sure that is how it works. I don't think when Wolverine gets drunk, his healing factor goes down. That is not Wolverine canon. Anyway, I don't know. So in case you weren't following along, they have a whole data sheet talking about this deal they made. Pretty clear to me, but all right. So War gets really mad and leaps after Wolverine and starts trying to hack him away. But Wolverine is apparently hungover, and so his healing factor isn't working well. And Saturnine says this is what it feels to play for keeps. Wolverine and War continues to go into this thing. And he says, wait a minute, Saturnine, what did we drink? What was in there? And she says, just as there was a cost to everything in the Crooked Market, there's a cost to trying to kill me. So is that she got him drunk deliberately? Or she was telling Death to bribe Jim Jack. Like, what? I don't know. And then she points out how will her friend fare, meaning Storm is in danger, and that she'll also pay a price. That price is, again, maybe this is all a big plot to get her drunk. So War goes to start to cut off his arm, I guess, but Wolverine pops his claws, forgets the sword, and just hacks off War's hand, and he won basically. And then somebody needs to pull off the sword. So War lies screaming with the hand on fire because the body's made out of fire, and the point goes to Solemn because Wolverine was fighting on behalf of Araku. So now we're Araku 5, Krakoa 2, and that's where our issue ends. And there you go. So apparently, this is just a random assortment of challenges with points, and the points are all over the place. It reminds me of something. What does that remind me of?
That's right. The points are just like who has to use the bathroom after you do.
That's right. The points are just like conversation at a strip club.
That's right. The points are like most of the movies that began as Saturday Night Live sketches. Like royalty payments from Napster. That's right. The points are just like your chiropractor's medical degree.
That's right. The points are just like J-Lo's husband's name.
Right. The points don't matter. It's like the talent portion of a beauty contest. That's right. The points don't matter. Just like the word international in International House of Pancakes.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah. So, okay. We have got 6 more issues to go in this series. X-Force, Hellions, Cable, X-Men, and Excalibur, along with the Cap issue, X of Swords, 10 of Swords, Destruction, number 1. So really 3 more weeks of enduring this. I mean, no, wait, 2. Only 2 more weeks. The 18th and the guys most excited. Suddenly, God, things are looking up. You know, I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, there's stuff going on. There's some action here, but it's hard to even wrap your head around what this event is at this point. We took so long. I mean, we took 12 issues to get the swords gathered up. We're not using the swords. The tournament matches are all kind of shenanigans, joke matches in a lot of cases. And I can't tell if this is being played for comedy, or are we supposed to believe there's a major threat here, or what exactly is going on is the question we've got. So basically, Araku is kicking Krakoa's ass, but surely they're going to come back and fight again. The only person who's dead at this point is Betsy, who turned into glass and shattered, which is not normal. So, and we already know she's back because we've seen covers for the comic that comes after this. So nobody knows. I have a feeling Saturnine's going to get murdered in this. But you know what? Anything can happen. It's comics. Did you like this issue? What do you make of all this? What do you make of all this? This is 3 Ten of Swords issues in one day, which is a lot to deal with. But I'll see you again next week for more. So like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications if you want to do that. Let me know your comments below. Thanks for listening.